help. Countries like Canada and Italy, the Netherlands, Russia, Israel, China, Azerbaijan, the Philippines, El Salvador, Australia, Turkey, and many others. I want to note in particular that we received a generous offer of support from Sri Lanka, a country that, as we speak, is still recovering from its own massive natural disaster. Every contribution is important, and over the past few days, I've been in contact with a wide range of officials from other nations and international organizations to respond to these offers of support. The State Department is coordinating closely with the Department of Homeland Security to match these offers of support with the needs on the ground. Some of the needs will be longer-term needs, as those areas and citizens hit by Katrina recover and begin to rebuild their lives, their families, and their futures. In my discussions with my counterparts, I've been heartened at their offers of both short-term and long-term support. Many private citizens across the globe also want to donate their personal funds to help. As I've talked with my counterparts around the world, I've encouraged them to urge their citizens to donate Katrina relief through the Red Cross. Here at the State Department, we have established a task force to manage our components of the response that are being coordinated by the Department of Homeland Security. This includes assistance from the United States Agency for International Development. U.S. aid experts are already working at the Department of Homeland Security's Emergency Center, drawing on their experience in working disasters around the world. A wide range of USAID equipment is also being deployed, from their Zodiac light boats to large chainsaws to help clear trees and other roadblocks. We're doing everything we can to help those in need here at home in America, and we are also working closely with other governments to help them locate and assist their citizens. On a personal note, as you know, my family is from Alabama. My father was born and raised in Louisiana. The pictures are pictures that I, in many cases, know well. And I just want to say to the people of the hard-hit Gulf region that our prayers and thoughts, and my personal prayers and thoughts, are with them. I'm going to travel this Sunday to Alabama to tour the disaster area, to meet with senior officials and Americans in need, and to receive briefings on the latest situation there. And now I'm happy to take a few questions.
Madam Secretary, there was a report yesterday that Russia has been refused, that its offer has been turned down. Is there anything to that?
We've turned down no offers. I think that obviously when something like this happens, we had a task force set up. We had to make certain that everybody knew the vehicle to use to channel contributions. Jonathan?
Madam Secretary, no offer's been turned down, but according to FEMA, from them at least, no offer's been accepted yet.
Yeah.
What good is it to have, nearly 60 countries step forward and offer assistance, and apparently, at least as far as FEMA is concerned, they haven't been able to accept any of those offers?
Well, as we are speaking, or perhaps just a little bit before we were speaking, there is a group that is working. Harry Thomas, who's the executive secretary here at the State Department and is the person who is in charge of coordinating this international effort, he is working with FEMA to go through the list to see what might be used in the short term. Obviously, in some cases, in places like New Orleans, it's a matter of access. But to see which of the offers can be taken up immediately, which others might need to be taken up somewhat later, but we are matching those offers now to the needs on the ground. Andrea?
Madam Secretary, this morning some of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus had some pretty tough words for the federal government. They said that they were outraged, they were ashamed. The implication being that because many of the people who were without food and water over the last 5 days are poor and black, that food wasn't getting to them quickly enough. Do you think that perhaps there's a kernel of truth to this?
Well, first of all, I have spoken to some members of the Congressional Black Caucus. I've also spoken to Bruce Gordon of the NAACP and to Mr. Morrell of the Urban League. We're all going to need to be in this together. I think everybody's very emotional. It's hard to watch pictures of any American going through this. And yes, the African American community has obviously been very heavily affected. But people are doing what they can for Americans. Nobody wants to see any American suffer. I was with the President this morning at 7 a.m. for a meeting that he held with Defense and Homeland Security and others to make sure that the effort is as robust as humanly possible. Nobody wants to see any American suffer.